Hello, hello, and welcome. It's all hands on deck. But first, let me send this tweet to tell people I'm live. And they need to watch me because of reasons and things and stuff. But either way, thank you for joining me as we unbox the slightly damaged box it was shipped in. The actual box that's in here, and I don't think it's damaged. But as we unbox the Alphacool Eisblock. Now this is going to go on my 4090. And let me just quickly pull up a little something here before we start up, because I do want to have like something here to show as far as the how it's going to actually shrink the dimensions on this card, because it is a massive card. Right now the card I have is the Gigabyte gaming OC, and that thing is just absolutely massive, like ridiculously huge. Let's see. I think it's actually the cooler for the Gigabyte. I think is almost bigger than this box itself. Probably volumetrically, it is bigger, because yeah, that Gigabyte card. As I bust out the old ruler here, that Gigabyte card, lengthwise, is 340 centimeters, and this box. Oh, actually, the box is longer than it. Sorry, my bad. All right. Anyways, we'll get those measurements out first. We'll get this sweet knife, which does not come with the card, unfortunately, or with the cooler. But that will be used for cutting open anything. And shall we get inside? Shall we check it out? Or shall we start with some preliminaries like, like and subscribe and all that jazz? Exciting news. My Twitter is actually at 99 followers, which is kind of cool. Never thought it would even get that big, but hey, it's 99 followers. And a troll ain't one. Let us get this out of here. And if you want to help take that to the 100, I would more than welcome it. Let's get this box out of here as we unwrap this baby here. We've got the Eisblock GPX. I thought it was the Aura. Well, maybe it's just the GPX. Look at this. It says German engineering. That's how you know it's gut, ja. Oh, it is Aurora. See? Aurora's on the side and it's checked. It is Alphacool Eisblock GPX. Alphacool, the cooling company. It'd be a cool company to work for, huh? And this is part number 13476. Let's see. Yes, here's our QC passed labels on here. Let me see. Are these peelable? I always find it funny because sometimes these labels are like totally peelable, and it's like, what's the point of them? No, that one looks like it would tear. Either way, I have this knife for a reason, right? Let's use it. Might as well. Hopefully I don't cut myself, but all right. Oh, I gotta cut, I think, both of them. Yeah. I need to cut both of them. There we go. Oh, only I knew how to use a knife. That's not how you use a knife. This is how you use a knife. Where's the Sigma Cool? Bro, Sigma Cool is like for losers. This is for alpha Chad coolers, all right? And that's where the cooling is at. So we've got this little sleeve here, which has some cool pictures of water blocks, and it has those stickers on it. On to the next layer. It's layers and layers of mystery. Layers and layers of cardboard. That's why I wasn't so worried about the other one's damage. I was like, there's a lot of layers. Sigma is greater than Alpha. You should build more Gundams to learn how to use a knife. I've heard that they really sharpen your knife skills, if you know what I mean. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at this. Oh my goodness. You get some nice little instructions. Ooh, look at all this. This is beautiful. You got a digital guide that you can scan. There's safety instructions. Probably in there it tells you not to eat your thermal pads. They do look like gum, some of them, and you shouldn't eat them. That is some expert advice right there for you for free from me. Formalite pads Auf dem Coolblock platzieren. Warme Leitpaste auftragen. Backplate montieren. I don't know why I'm saying it now with like a weird, not even a German accent. Auf der PCB Rückseite. I gotta remember to pronounce everything. Except for when you're not supposed to pronounce everything. But yeah, look at these. Some nice, lovely instructions about the LEDs and whatnot. Looks like some pretty easy to follow instructions too. They very clearly tell you where to put. Excuse me, coughing fit. Yeah. I can handle the Alphacool, man. I'm just that cool. I don't know what it is. I've been struggling with this cough, but I've been too anxious to open this up. So I'm going to struggle through it. Okay, we got hardware and stuff in there. We'll look at that a little later. I got the bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. I really like this like plastic bag that this is in. It's pretty neat. It's got a really neat aesthetic to it. Gotta say, there's a lot of layers to it though. Let's see, we got some glue here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ja, ja. Ist gut, ja. Guter Schlingen. I always find it funny when some of these types of products are in, like, say, something like oh, look at that. That looks gorgeous. That looks absolutely gorgeous. That looks beautiful. My goodness. Sorry, people. I'm having a little event here. This is lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right. This is nice. Decent amount of heft to it as well. I'm going to just rip that open. These don't come off very easily. Here we got our matte aluminum backplate, which is attached to our block. Oh, the machining on this is gorgeous. Let me get some screwdriver. Actually, does this come with a screwdriver? You know, I'll just use the knife. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, these are some really nice plugs. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Oh, look, we've got screwdrivers. We've got thermal paste, thermal pads. These are a little bit warped, but not terrible. For the back plate, 3mm. See, this is nice. It's all pre-cut. Very nice. As well for the cooler, 1mm pads. That's nice that they've got 1mm pads. They feel like they're probably pretty decent thermal, like they're not super soft. So probably very thermally conductive. You've got your Alphacool Sub-Zero. It'll actually give you sub-ambient temperatures. Nah, just kidding. So how much does this cost me? Well, let me break it down for you here. This thing right now, if you buy it, let's see. I think on Alphacool's site, this is I think 160 USD. But shipping to Canada is horrendous. So shipping to Canada for this thing is like how much? Shipping to Canada is like 55 USD. So absolutely ridiculous. And I would not want to pay that. So I was like, you know what? This is a little ridiculous. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do what any smart person does. I'm going to look for it on AliExpress and see if it's cheaper there. And that's what I did. And guess what? it was a lot cheaper there. In fact, it was super cheap. It was, let's just say, yeah, it was 250 Canadian, and that's with shipping and everything. And tax, shipping, tax, all that, all included. Here we go. I got these nice long screws. There's only 4 of them on the back plate. Now, great. The good news is that on the back plate, there's not really much ado on there, right? There's a lot of hardware in here that's going to secure your card to the actual block itself. This is just going to be for the back plate. Back plate is pretty flat. Looks like it's how many mil? How many millimeters? Like what? 2 mil, 3 mil? Yeah, like 2 mil. 2 mil aluminum. Not bad. Not bad. Oh, I thought this was like a little light there, but no. A little light strip on the bottom here. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah. Look at this. Look at this. This is gorgeous. You see the nice little machining marks on it, which is kind of neat too. And yeah, here's your memory pad locations. And then you got these nice cutouts for, I think there's some capacitors that go in those areas. And then there's some MOSFETs that these 4 right here go on. I think those are the memory MOSFETs. And then these are the MOSFETs for the core stuff. But, you know, we've got our instructions right here too, right? And they tell us exactly where each pad, right? They've got A, B, C, D. And on here, I believe they've got, do they have any actual like labeling on them? Or is it just they call them out as G is this one? Let's see. Now, there's no actual labeling on it. But the cool thing is that the way that it's been designed, which is nice, is that this is designed for 1 millimeter pads. So they've machined and measured and made it so that each of these will actually be spaced approximately 1 millimeter off of the component they're supposed to be cooling. That is quite different from the Bykski block that I have. And this is basically what I want to be doing in this this little stream here, is I want to take a look at this and I want to compare this to the Bykski block, right? Because the Bykski block is actually about $100 cheaper than this. And I'm just kind of curious as well, like how differently these are made and you know, the differences between them. Because this is actually quite interesting. You got like some large, even like standoffs are, there's like machined copper posts for the standoffs to go into. Anything that's actually positioned over top of the block itself. And I love the look of these pathways. They're so beautiful. And let's see. I have my used Bykski block here, right? Let me just get there's a little bit of dust on here, so quite a bit of fingerprints, you know. So you can see here's the Bykski one. Right, sorry. I was like, I'm going to clean it. Nah, there's still a buttload of fingerprints on it. So on this one, actually, this is all like, you're using like 2 millimeter pads on here. Here, it's made for like 2 millimeter pads, which right away, right off the bat, to me is like, that's not a great thing. So you'll get better performance with thinner pads. So this should technically cool the components better. Now, obviously components, this is for 3090. So this probably is not a good example necessarily, but overall, like if you want to look too, like at the thickness, like the thickness on this block, which I thought was decently thick, is not really, like, look at how thick like this section here is. Like that is a lot of copper, and right here as well. And like, you know, the base thickness here is roughly the same as the Bykski block, but you can see that there's quite a bit more copper sticking up, right? To again get more get all of that block a lot closer to the components, and that's going to give you a lot better cooling versus say like the Bykski one. Now, one of the cool things too about like if you're thinking about water cooling, your 4000 series cards, and you're thinking like I'm gonna water cool it so I can like overclock the crap out of it, that's probably a bad idea. Just saying, right? And the reason being is that the coolers for this generation are like super OP. Like they are very, very good. The issue with those very, very good coolers is they are very, very big, right? So I'm just gonna actually put this block back on, or not block, this back plate back on, which goes like so, I believe. It's kind of a rockin' there. I don't know why. It's a little interesting. A little warpage. I don't know if that's... I have to double check how this is supposed to go. I don't think it's supposed to go like that. No, definitely not supposed to go like that. Easily supposed to go like that. That's how it's properly supposed to go. All right. I'll just drop this guy in here. In here. In here. And actually, like, the screwdriver is a crappy screwdriver, but it fits really nicely into the screws, which is, I guess, a pro for compared to some of the other blocks that you might find. Definitely do not want to be oh, scheisse. See, I got it speaking German already. Thank you, Alphacool, for your German engineering. Engineering my speech to speak German. Toot. There we go. Because yeah, I feel like this block will really so let's see, this is, yeah, it is lifting there, but again, we're probably going to be just screwing this down for smushing those pads, and it doesn't feel like it's actually taking a lot of force to get the smush in there. I think we've got a decent amount of torque and a decent amount of holding from these, and I'm not gonna lie, even the standoffs feel a little bit higher quality than the Bykski. I definitely think, well, let's look at this section of it. Actually, first let's talk about the size, because size with your water cooling, it does matter. All right. And look at these. Look at these. These are cool. Are these aluminum? Oh, no, they're not. I hope they're not aluminum. Are they aluminum? I don't know. But these guys go in here. There's like little blocks for that. Now, you get a nice little screwdriver from Alphacool for putting these in. That's fun. Look at that. You just seal that up on the one side and let her all go on the other. And that's one of the nice things about a single-sided block, because all the other blocks I have are they're active backplate ones. So this should be a lot simpler as far as installing, as well as too, like if I have to reinstall it at some point or repaste or something, it'll be a lot easier process than before. And we can even maintain the water in here, because before, if you have like an active backplate, you're going to have something like this, right? So you've got a block that sits over top and transfers coolant from the front plate to the back plate and then out again. And that can be a real pain, but yeah. So let's talk about size. Shall we? Let's talk about size. This guy right here is a lovely 233.5 millimeters. 233.5 millimeters. Okay. You know how big the gigabyte card is compared to this guy? You know how big it is? The gigabyte card goes all the way out to here. That's how big it is. This is almost Like, you're cutting off like a full 10 centimeters off of this, which is like almost a third of the size. Like, and this actually is shorter now. This will make the card shorter than an ATX board is wide. So your card actually won't even stick out past your ATX board with this on, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now this part here, I'm kind of curious how this mounts onto the, yeah, this here is something important. This is for your lock or your latching mechanism. Is it? Yeah, this is for your latching mechanism. I'm just kind of curious how the bracket for the I/O mounts on here, and if this is going to be interfering with said bracket or not. But either way, interestingly, you've got your coolant path, right? It comes in here, goes and it goes through your jet plate, and then it splits. And it splits, and then it goes kind of, this one goes out the waist area. This goes a little bit of a longer path and takes the long way around. And then it goes in through here. And these deeper portions here, I think, go towards the memory. But you've got some really, like, really deep areas. And also, too, it's very interesting. The machining marks on this are significantly smaller. So they've used a much smaller tool. The top of it, you can see some facing marks. So they've probably faced the top of it so it's nice and flat. But you can see that they've been using a much smaller tool for machining out this area than the Bykski. The Bykski, I think, looks like it's using, I don't know, tooling mark wise. This guy here is using, like, let me see. It's like the least accurate way of looking at it. We're going to be like, yeah, you're looking at what? Definitely smaller than 5 mil, maybe like 2.5 mil cutter on their CNC. And on the Bykski one, they're like hitting it with like this, like 5 mil, right? So much faster machining process for at least machining out the smaller grooves. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, I would definitely say this is a higher quality product for sure. For sure. Than the Bykski one. And I'm very excited to see how this higher quality product performs. And I think it will perform quite well. Now, like I said, it's not going to perform significantly better than the stock cooler. So it's more so, for me at least, about getting the size down and just maintaining a constant, nice, cool temperature on it, which is something maybe I've become a little OCD about. Slightly, ever so slightly OCD about. But this is exciting. I'm very excited to put this on. And when that happens, there will definitely be another live stream. I'm going to have to figure out a little bit of a different way of bringing the water in and bringing the water out. So we'll be, I might do, yeah, because I might mount it in like so. And we might have in on the bottom and then out on the top. I think that would make the most sense. I'll have a nice 90 going in on the bottom, and then we can tuck the hose this way. And then this one can come straight up and then pop right into the water block. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And I think, would that be the right time for me to change my coolant? Maybe. I might do a whole system cleaning with this guy. But it looks nice. It's really nice to have all these pads cut out for it. That's really nice to have. You got some coolant, not coolant. You've got some thermal paste. You got some really clear instructions. These are things that you don't really get with your. So if you got like a Bykski block from AliExpress, you're not gonna get. You're not gonna get a thermal paste with it. Your thermal pads will all be just a standard size. They'll be like those blue silicone ones that are going to bleed all sorts of oil out. And I'm looking forward to the experience of putting this together. I feel like this will be a lot less headache and a lot more fun. Overall, I like the aesthetic as well. It's nice, very like square German type look, which I like. And let's focus here. Focus. Focus. There we go. Nope, maybe not. But it is exciting. I'm really excited to try it. I am a little bit apprehensive about these. If these are actually no, those aren't aluminum. I thought they might be aluminum, but no, they feel like they're brass or copper. I'm just a little bit. I don't want to mix any aluminum. Don't mix aluminum, kids. It is technically possible with some coolants, but it can lead to all sorts of headaches. All sorts. But no, I'm really excited. I think it looks really, really good. And I think it's, you know what, I'm going to say it's definitely worth the extra $100. Now, no, wait, I can't say it's definitely worth the extra $100 because I haven't installed it yet. And I have to see how it installs. I got to see how it looks. So we shall see about that. But yeah, I am excited to install it. The instructions look quite straightforward, you know. And I think it's going to be a really, really quick install. Even the stream, I think, is going to be a relatively quick install. But we'll take a little look when I do the stream of like installing the block. We'll take a look at the the cooler on the Gigabyte, and we'll look at how this mounts up. I'm very curious to see how evenly it mounts on it as well. That's something that was kind of lacking with the Bykski ones to a certain point, or to a certain degree, really. And so I'm excited to see if that has any sort of change. Let's see. Do these actually fit in here? Maybe, kind of, a little bit. But yeah, very, very simple, very nicely done, I must say. Good stuff, Alphacool. I'm really excited to pop this on and just bring my rig back to normal, because right now I actually have my pump is like installed outside of my rig because the Thermaltake P3 cannot handle the length or girth of the Gigabyte. So, and it is quite a large card, let me tell you. So, I'm excited to pop this on and you know, experience it all. Look, we even get a nice spatula. They give you a spatula from Alphacool. Look, isn't that great? It's a nice little spatula for spreading your thermal paste. So, fun times. And exciting too. And I gotta say, thus far, I'm really enjoying this 16-pin connector. I grabbed I grabbed a cable from Corsair, and it plugs right into my HX 1200, and it plugs right into my 4090. No problems. Any which way. So makes me happy as well. It makes me happy. If it makes you happy, why you look so sad? Sorry, I should stop that. It's like people are gonna unsub for those singings. Let's see, we'll put that in there. Put this back in here for now. I really like this. This looks really cool. It looks Alphacool, you know? So, but yeah, definitely gotta say I'm impressed thus far with the overall quality, the level of packaging and detail with it. I don't think it's too much or too little. They've got a nice balance. I know with what's it called? With Arctic, their stuff, like the packaging is very minimalist, and it's good. I'm glad they do it that way. because the reason and purpose they do it that way is to save us money. And I appreciate that. And I feel like Alphacool has a nice balance of nice packaging and not like, going crazy. Like here's the wild thing. This right here cost me less in Canadian dollars than buying let's maybe get this in focus, huh? Can you focus on this? Come on. Camera. There we go. This actually cost me less in Canadian dollars than I would have paid in US dollars for an EK equivalent. And I don't feel like the EK one would really cool that much better, if at all better. So I don't know. I feel like EK really needs to reevaluate their strategy and all this, because I feel like there are so many good lower cost, similar quality options. Like if you're looking for just something to cool your card, even a Bykski block would be fine. I just wanted to like venture out and try Alphacool, see if it's worth the extra money. And I gotta say, I definitely think it is worth the extra. I think those pre-cut thermal pads, the fact that I'm quite a bit more certain that the tolerances on the levels of the standoffs for the different components on the cooler, I'm pretty sure those are a lot tighter controlled. So I don't think I'm gonna have to be so worried with bending PCBs. The thermal pads seem to be much higher quality than the ones that come with the Bykski ones. So you're not going to have to worry so much about, the silicone grease leaking out all over your PCIe slot, or if you're vertical mounting, or just leaking onto the PCB. So I'm pretty excited to sort of see how it goes. Yeah, like how it works out. So I guess though we'll wait a little bit for that. I really want to get it in before the baby comes. But if I can't, then it might sit for a little while. Right now the card is just fine. It's nice and cool. It's just the rig looks weird. And since I have to look at it and you guys don't have to look at it, then, I'm just fine with that. But overall, I would say, yeah, for like 250 Canadian, which is what I paid. And if you take into account that that was tax included, that really comes out to calculator. 255 is what I paid roughly. And so that's like 226 before tax. So $226 Canadian for an Alphacool Waterblock is a pretty smoking deal. And we'll see. Because that's a really nice price for it. And I'm excited. Actually, if you add that onto the price of the Gigabyte card that I bought, because I got the Gigabyte card from Amazon Warehouse Deals. So if you add the 226 onto the 1833, then you're at like still cheaper than a Founders Edition for a water-cooled Gigabyte card. So, hot dog. All right, I think though that is going to be it for tonight. I know it was a bit of a shorter stream, and that's probably good for my voice because, again, I've been talking at work, talking at home, talking on stream a lot. I'm really excited seeing a lot of cool stuff at Computex. Actually, some really cool Alphacool stuff. I want to get their new fan. I don't know if you guys have seen their new fan. Check it out. I am a huge fan of it. And I'm pretty sure it'll blow you all away. And that's not just a lot of hot air. I think it will really I would actually love to get some, and I'm just waiting for them to announce the MSRP before I get them, because I'm excited for that. I gotta see though, if they're good, and if they're a good price, I think I might consider buying some, especially too before I go to a new case, or once I go to a new case. I'm thinking of going down to only 2 rads. I've got 3 rads right now. 3 of them, 2 of them are 60 mil. One of them is 30 mil. So I'm thinking of getting rid of the 30 mil, keeping the 260 mil, and putting some higher performance fans on the 260 mils. Ones that can move a lot more air at lower RPMs, so we can stay nice and quiet, and we can maintain a relatively the same cool. But yeah, this card right now is like ridiculously cool, and I love it. It's handling everything, and I think it was a good buy. I'm happy with it. Let's put it that way. I look at it and I'm like, I shouldn't have bought that, but I am happy with it. It was my tax return, so I splurge once a year on something, and that was what I splurged on. Next year, who knows? Maybe it'll be a new CPU, motherboard, and RAM, but we'll maybe not. Maybe not. Next year, I'm actually next year. I think my splurge is going to be a trip to Japan, but that is going to be saved for another time. But yes, thank you everybody though for watching. Thank you for coming by. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up. If you're thinking about getting some Alphacool products, yeah, be sure to check them out. Or if you have questions about water cooling in general, let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to offer some advice on, well, anything that I know, I'll offer advice, and if I don't know, I'll tell you, so I don't lead you astray. And yeah, I really enjoy this whole water cooling hobby. It's a lot of fun. I'm not doing it because I like to break records. I just like it because it's just fun, being able to pull heat from components and move it somewhere else and dissipate it, and then bring that coolant back and cool them down all over again. So it's exciting and relaxing to me. I like building it. I like putting it together. And I like having fun with it. Except for when it doesn't work. Then it sucks. But it almost always works, so I'm happy about it. I was about to hold this as my mouse and do something, but that's not going to do anything. It's not a mouse, it's a knife. This is a mouse. And this is me saying, see you later. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, or maybe think about becoming that 100th follower on Twitter. All the cool kids are doing it. So, yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. And hopefully I'll see you on Friday if my voice is continuing to improve. It's gotten a little better today. Throat's gotten a little better. The cough has gotten a little better. And I'm hoping that trajectory continues. So I hope you all have a wonderful night, and the rest of your week is awesome. All right. I'll see you all later. Bye.